Hi,
Hi,
David. How you doing?
good. How are you?
All right.
Right.
Lots of action
Lisa,
on the school board, huh?
what's that?
Lots of action on the school board right now,
Yeah, I am not one who lives for such action,
huh? Yeah, I can imagine.
but how's Lisa?
She's good. She just had an operation on her hand, so she's home recuperating today.
Oh, oh,
Yeah, yeah, and looking forward to finishing this year out, and most likely this will be her last year.
oh.
Yeah,
And
she,
you're still teaching at RCC, aren't you?
yeah, a couple of classes. I really love the classroom still. It's keeps me young.
I was talking to an aunt yesterday, and she's a retired teacher in a different state.
Uh-huh.
And she says she really misses the classroom and has been thinking about, writing down some of the techniques that she's used over the years and called up her old school to get some information from them. They says, "Don't you want to come in and don't you want to teach some more?" And she
Yeah.
was kind of excited, and her family is saying no. She taught at a charter school, and she said that there was only one teacher in the entire system that didn't get COVID.
Wow.
Yeah. And her family's concerned for her health
Of
and
course.
going back in that situation.
Of course.
But she has like 15 grandchildren, and she has tutored several of them over the last couple of years.
Yeah, to get them through the COVID times, huh?
Yeah.
Well, it'll be interesting this next week to have all of these kids being able to see the mouths on their friends
Yeah.
with no masks. So
Well, it's been a hard couple of years, that's for sure.
yeah,
One of these children of my aunt, one of her grandsons, was a senior last year, was supposed and did not was not able to finish. And so my aunt went before that school board and said, "Hey, can he be a fifth year senior?" And they said yes. And I was surprised. We have a regular system. We always get reports on 4-year cohort graduation rates and 5-year cohort graduation rates. So it's not unknown or not a special circumstance to have those kind of students.
right.
And so I was surprised that situation existed differently.
Exactly.
But and then I know that there are some special education students who are in the system till they're 21.
Really.
Yeah. So we don't just throw them out when they hit 18.
Not a
Wow,
very, not a very chatty group yet this morning.
so quiet.
It's fun to just watch everybody come on.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hey, I'd be chatting a lot, but I have bad cold.
you do.
Oh,
Hope you
Yeah,
feel
come on,
better.
let's all have just like a group. Oh, poor Dawn.
Poor Don.
Poor Don.
I'll bet you got it while you were skiing.
Well, it happened. The day we were leaving, that's true. That's true. But
Yeah.
anyway, we old people did fine on the slopes, at least one day.
Good.
Get out in the sun.
Well, it was sunny there. It was beautiful. At least one of the days it had snowed 5 inches the day before. So
Oh, how nice.
yeah, because otherwise I think we would have been skating instead of skiing, and I hate that.
Really, it was pretty icy underneath.
Yeah, didn't.
Oh,
Well, I mean, they really need snow, so all that warming up and stuff had turned it into kind of an ice sheet underneath, so.
Yeah. How
That kind of-
crowded was it?
You know, it's strange, Lutz, because the parking lots were packed and we thought, oh man, the mountain is going to be crazy, but it's a big enough mountain, you know, that it really wasn't that.
Yeah.
crowded.
you're on the lodge, having a drink.
Well, right. There could be some truth to that too.
I would be, that's right.
I heard you, John.
Hi, Steve.
Go there.
Row and
Hi, Steve.
Swearingen.
Right.
Yeah.
There's
That's
Steve's all
right.
over the place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was a popular name.
yes.
You could be Esteban or you could be Etienne.
Nah.
We'll just stick with Steve.
Yeah.
So Pat, someone was telling me how they were amazed at how many books I read, and I just thought of you because I thought, I don't read nearly as many as Pat Bath does.
I have a lot of time on my hands.
Well, and you always do such a good job of taking notes on what you read, and well, I admire that.
Did book group read the new Jim Crow?
What's that?
Did book group read the new Jim Crow several years ago? It came out in 2010.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I've read it, but I don't, not.
I was doing, I'm leading a discussion for a different group on Saturday, and I made up a bunch of questions. And the answers are down below. And it's not an easy book to read.
Yeah.
It's not very much nonfiction and so on, but it's very, very good if anybody wanted to see the questions and just see what the answers are.
That does make me think, Pat, that very soon we should, as the book group, Gateway Rotary Reads, we start to need looking at new books and putting things out there, because Indian Givers is the last one in our series. We might take the summer off.
We might take what?
I said we might take the summer off. It's
Oh.
a voting thing.
So in honor of World or Women's History Month, and I'm reading 15 stories from well-read Black girls on Black girlhood. I noticed one of the stories in that collection is on the bestseller list right now. I don't know how to pronounce the word, but it's by Toni Morrison.
Mm.
And it has written from the perspective of two young girls, one's Black and one's white, and you can't tell which one is which half the time in the story. And that's done on purpose. So a very interesting story.
Did you read The Vanishing Half?
What's
Yes.
that?
The Vanishing Half?
Yeah.
No,
That's also about two sisters
Mhm.
And one one passed and spent her life as a white person, and the other, I think they were twins too, but one decided to pass and lived as a white woman, and the other one lived life as a black person, and they get together later on in life. It's a
Sounds
very
like great books to read for the upcoming Rotary Reads. Better call a meeting to order, so I'm going to mute everybody. Okay, and welcome to the Rogue Gateway Rotary Club for March 10th. Appreciate everybody being here. And Pat, would you like to start us with the pledge, please? Pat Bath.
Join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you. And also with our inspiration for the day, please.
Yeah, I didn't realize I signed up for it, but I really like this. It's from a book, Shalom, Salam, Peace. When in awe of God's creation, we view Earth from outer space, this mysterious floating marble strewn with clouds and bathed in grace, how can we not pause in wonder, seeing Earth as one and whole? Then confessing our divisions, make Earth's healing our prime goal. Blue and tan with lace clouds swirling, flung in space and circling there. Habitat for myriad creatures, meant for earth and sea and air. Must we draw our lines of hatred, marking land and class and race? God forgive us, we entreat you, for all pride of self and place. Living now, this is the picture we no longer can deny, for we see no angry boundaries when our view is from the sky. Rivers, deserts, forests, snowfields, oceans, lakes, and mountains too. But no fences built for barring you from me or me from you. Now we face the unknown future, challenged by the work at hand. Still the God of all creation summons us with one command: love each other. Will we do it? Love each other. Wars might cease. Love each other. Justice follows. Love each other. There is peace.
Thank you. Thank
It
you
was
very
written in
much.
2006, so still very much.
Okay. I would, for Rotary Minute, I thought I would talk about our monthly Rotary theme for March, being water and world sanitation. And I want to tie this in with the crisis in Ukraine, because one of the many problems that Ukraine is currently facing is the water. And prior to the current conflict, areas of Ukraine were extremely dry. And now the situation is even more dire in many cities because of the shelling. Food and water are in short supply, and many Rotarians want to know how to help. And we may want to help personally, but may not know how to best offer our financial help. And I put these in the Navigator, e-Navigator. The first one is the Rotary Foundation trustees have prioritized the contributions to the Disaster Response Fund through April 30th to support disaster relief in those districts affected by the events. And these grants will supply food, water, medicine, shelter, and clothing. Many people have already fled Ukraine and are in dire need of emergency aid, and the number could grow to 5 million people. The second one, ShelterBox is providing shelter and tools to help displaced Ukrainians, and a ShelterBox team is in Eastern Europe currently to assess the future needs and offer assistance. And I put a video in there from the ShelterBox CEO talking about what ShelterBox is doing. And in a few more minutes, you're going to hear Steve Swearingen from the Grants Pass Rotary Club working with a Rotarian exchange student to offer medical supplies to the people of Poland, as well as the Ukrainian refugees. And you can contribute there through the RG Foundation. And all of these are listed in the Navigator. And of course, there's many other credible organizations that are helping in this international tragedy. And I realize that giving is a very personal thing. It's the Russian invasion of Ukraine. It seems so far away, and yet we see the images, the innocent people that are in a harmful way. And I would encourage each of us to investigate, ask questions, learn, and then offer what we can and feel what you would offer the most assistance to others. And Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "It is one of the most beautiful compensations of life that no man or woman can sincerely try to help another without helping himself first." Okay, so we have some visiting Rotarians and we have some guests with us today. Let's see. Who would like to, let's see, for our guests? Let's see, how about visiting Rotarians first? Any visiting Rotarians from other clubs? I think Steve Swearingen from Grants Pass Rotary Club is here. We're going to hear from him in a few minutes. Any others? We have our judges, including our own club members, but we have two judges from the community, Tom Berry and Ernestine Blumeister. And also we have the team that's going to be here for the four-way speech competition contestants. And we're going to be introducing those in just a few minutes. So welcome to all of you. Wynn, would you like to do the healthcare update today, please?
Yeah. Good afternoon, everybody. Nice to virtually see all of you. And you know, I do have some good news on the COVID front. The hospitalized patients across the state are the lowest number they've been since I can't even tell you when. So it's under 300, which is outstanding. And in Jackson and Josephine County, the number is like 36, which is lowest number. And specifically here at this hospital, it's at 9 patients, which that number is the lowest it's been in at least 9 months. And the other thing about it is it's not necessarily people being treated for COVID, they're here with COVID, if that makes sense. And so that's also a good trend as well. But actually, I texted or emailed Steve earlier, and I thought I wanted to actually share a story about Ukraine and some healthcare humanitarian efforts. And Steve sent me the video from the Wednesday Club. I just watched it like right before this meeting. I got it in the nick of time, and that was outstanding to hear from her, and it was wonderful and just great. But I wanted to share with you that I got a text message from Dr. Brad Personius on Tuesday morning. He's like, do you have a couple minutes? I said, I'll call you in 10 minutes. I called him and he said, listen, there's a contingent in Southern Oregon of Ukrainian connections here. And one of the gentlemen actually is a charter pilot who is Ukrainian. And they are going to be shipping medical supplies, flying them into either Germany or Poland, like in the next couple of days. Can you guys come up with some things that can be donated to be sent over there? So I said, well, do you know what they want? Can you send me a list? So he got the list. And of course, the list was in Ukrainian. But it was a local lady here in Grants Pass that actually is a certified translator. She was able to translate into English what the items they were asking for. And so we were able to rally up a team. We put people together as quickly as possible to be able to donate some medical supplies and some other things to them. These things are actually what I just texted with Dr. Personius just a little while ago. These items are actually going to be flown to Europe tomorrow. They will be in Ukraine this weekend. I mean, this is how fast this is happening. This is just like awesome. It made my heart so happy. And so they're going to the Ukraine Kyiv Angelical Clinic, and they're going to be delivered to Dr. Yuri Bondarenko. I probably butchered his name, but they're going to be there literally this weekend. And this is just amazing. And then talking with Dr. Personius, there's also going to be another effort in the next few weeks that's going to be the same type of thing, and they're going to have a bigger list of items, and those items then will be shipped. This is something that'll take a while, but the medical supplies that they asked for, literally, it's awesome to think they're going to leave here tomorrow and be in Ukraine over the weekend. That is just outstanding. So I just wanted to share that. That's my healthcare update. But you know, I've asked you guys a lot of times, like, what's one good thing that's happened this week, or what's one good thing? To me, that brought so much joy because I'm so saddened by this, and that we can all make an effort. And what Steve from the Wednesday Club is doing, you know, how Rotarians can kind of rally around helping people at a time of need, I think it's just outstanding. So that's my update.
Okay. Thank you very much for sharing that, Wynn, and thank you for that part of efforts as well. It's all of us working together that will make a difference in this whole situation. Each of us can make a difference in our own way. Grants Pass City Council update, Valerie.
Yes, and I also want to say thank you to Win for that, because you're right. It has broken all of our hearts to watch it. So that's why we're all here. That's why we're Rotarians, is to say what we can do to make a difference. So I'm encouraged to see your shining faces and know that we're all looking for ways to make things happen. I'm just going to say there's a few things. I played hooky last week because I was up being grandma and mom for a week, which was wonderful. But there's a couple things working behind the scenes big in Grants Pass right now. We have a housing subcommittee that is meeting with a consultant, Eco Northwest, to try to come up with a strategy for building housing, affordable housing, workforce housing. And so I'm encouraged by that we'll come up with some strategies that might help to move some things forward. We also have our task force for the Caveman Plaza coming into being, and they are hoping within the next 6 months to get an idea of how that might work with our urban renewal agency. So there's things in the background working with that right now. And the city is also looking at the rescue plan money that has come down. And we're hoping same thing within the next 3 to 6 months to make the commitment of how that money will be spent in our community. So a lot of things working behind the scenes. I will also say I'm part of the transportation committee through the state, and the Oregon Transportation Commission is right now finalizing how the money coming from the infrastructure bill can be spent. And as of April, they're going to start looking for bids and for programs to start working on. So the money is coming. So it's kind of exciting to know that there are some things that will be happening in the next 2 years within our community. I'm very excited transportation wise just to see Beacon finally happening after all these years that we've been crying about it. So and there will be more coming because they also have a grant for safe routes to school, and the county and the state are also going to work on Hillcrest. So there are things happening in our community. So it's kind of exciting to see them happen, and then there's more to come, and I will keep you posted.
Okay, thank you, Valerie. Any questions for Valerie? Okay, Steve Swearingen, would you like to give the your medical project update, please?
Okay, well, I hope you guys get a chance to go on and look at the YouTube presentation of what Kasha gave yesterday. It was 19 minutes, but I think she did a great job. She was very nervous. She doesn't speak English that much right now. She was worried about that, and she did a great job. After that meeting, our club raised a ton of money in about 15 minutes. And so we're getting ready to wire $15,000 to her next Tuesday. And she's already out buying medical supplies. I just got a text from her this morning. She went out and bought Dermatome, which is skin transplants for big wounds, and buying surgical equipment because they're running low on surgical equipment. Her club then takes that equipment, drives it to the border with Poland and Ukraine, and a group out of a hospital in Lviv, which is the biggest city closest to Poland that has not been invaded yet. There's that western portion that the Russians haven't invaded yet. That equipment then gets driven to the hospital and used immediately. And she's in phone contact with that hospital and the surgeons in that hospital. So we're making an impact immediately, faster than most groups can do. It is just pretty depressing to hear what's going on. I mean, it warmed my heart to see what we're doing as a community, but it's just the situation over there is just awful. I'm also going to the other clubs and talking. The Courier was there yesterday, and I'm hoping we get an article in the Courier about it. I'm getting checks from people out of state, they're just friends, and saying, wow, there's a way I can get money directly and it's going to help immediately, because everybody wants to help. They just don't know how to do it. So Rotary seems to be a great a great vehicle to do that. I think your club has raised a little bit of money, and your treasurer might connect with Ann Rusk, the president of our club, and coordinate whether or not you want to do a wire together or whatever. So that's what I've got. In fact, I just got a text from her now. I asked her what she's new to Rotary. I've been talking to her for years of being Rotary. So she's been in for 3 weeks, and all of a sudden she puts this together with the Rotary clubs in Grants Pass. And I said, so what does your club think about their freshman Rotary member? She says they're still in awe of what's going on. So, so we're doing a great thing. Any questions?
I will say with the beauty of dual screens, I just opened up the Daily Courier website. It's a front page article
Oh, really?
on the online edition. So first night's paper. Yes.
Oh. Well, it didn't hurt that Kasha's friend, when they were going, she was in high school here, is Sarah Bristol. And so she and Sarah came to our meeting and got to talk to her while she was online. So that didn't hurt for getting into the Courier.
Okay. Well, thank you, Steve, for all you're doing. Any questions for Steve? And all the information, the video that Steve's talking about is in the e-navigator. And if you're able and want to contribute, if you can.
Well, I have a question of when.
Sure.
The group that he's dealing with, I don't know if there's anything we can coordinate with him or not, but I might give him a call if there appears to be a way to coordinate some of that, because they also have direct connections into Ukraine.
Let's see.
I can put my number in the chat. Steve.
Okay, that'd be great.
Park, you have a question?
Yes, I do. And I don't know if this is the right time to ask it, but Bonnie and I were wondering, is there a way for us to maybe help families and refugees come here? We've got the program where we do it for like visiting doctors and nurses. Can we do anything like that for some of the refugees? I know it'd be hard for them to get here, but we may be able to figure that out through Rotary nationally. I don't know.
I think it's a great question. I don't have the answer. I think that issue is very fluid right now. I know Poland's taken in at least 2 million people already, and they're looking at maybe 5 million. And Poland can't absorb all those folks, so they're going to have to get dispersed.
Yeah, I just think about our situation. I've got, how many millions of Delta miles. It's like, okay, can we sponsor family to fly here and put them in a house or somewhere just so that we're helping a little bit? And I know there's other people that could do things like that.
Good question. I'll start looking. I'll start researching it. I think it's all happening so quickly. I don't know what kind of infrastructure's been developed yet.
It's
Okay,
amazing
thank you.
Yeah, amazing how much progress has been made in a relatively short period of time, but the needs are definitely great. There's no doubt about that.
I think I will think it will continue on for quite some time.
Unfortunately, I agree with you, Steve. Okay.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate the opportunity to talk to you.
Okay. We appreciate you, Steve, and all you're doing. As far as the club, speaking of new members, and a member that's already well on her way to becoming a blue badge is Joel Inglet Fever. Jim, would you like to introduce the new member? Because I think you might know her a little bit.
There, sure. Hi, babe. She's muted. You need to unmute yourself. There we go. So I'm very proud to introduce my bride as a member to the club I've belonged to, the one that both Steve and John Jones had invited me to numerous times over the years, which I finally joined. Anyway, So here's my wife. I'm gonna let her tell you about herself a little bit.
Okay,
I have to talk.
Yes.
Let me put my mic down. Well, Jim and I have been married for 15 years, 13 years. Don't want to speed that up any. And we've just had a blast. We enjoy each other's company, but more so than anything else, we love to travel. It's no surprise that we spend a lot of our time down in Cozumel, scuba diving and enjoying the people down there. And we're going to take our first big adventure next month, where we're going to take our 22-foot trailer and take it to Utah for about 4 weeks and checking out the national parks there. So we have fun doing that and traveling. I'm recently retired. I spent 38 years working in surgery as a certified surgical technologist. And the last 3 years, I was a certified risk adjustment coder for the Grants Pass Clinic. And now I'm fully retired from that. And I miss all the people at the Grants Pass Clinic. I miss working with all of those people. They're just a wonderful group. And now I'm just trying to figure out what to do. So the best thing was when I retired, I told Jim I wanted to join Rotary so I can be a part of this great organization. That's it.
okay. Well, thank you so much.
Mhm.
And welcome, Jolene. We're really glad to have you part of our club.
Thank you.
Okay, look forward to working with you. Okay, we're gonna move into the program of the day. And Delynn Sharpen is our Rotary four-way community test speech group leader here. Would you like to take it away, please, Delynn?
Thank you, Steve. I appreciate that. Hope everybody's doing well today. And I'm here at North Valley High School with part of our Interact group. We have an amazing group of kids this year young adults. And right now we have 3 that are ready to give their presentations. The 4th one we are trying to find, but they've drawn numbers beforehand. And so I will present them as speaker 1 through 3, hopefully 4 coming up. And I'll just give their topic, let them take it away, and then we'll roll forward. So speaker number 1, presentation is going to be on counseling.
Hello, my name is Sam Campos. My dream is to find a career that allows me to support my present and future family while also helping others. School counseling, which will aid my own life goals. It also allows me to do so while hitting every prong of the 4-way test. To achieve my goals, I must continue on with my education at the next level, as well as growing as an individual. Is it the truth? This statement is the clearest to me. As being a high school counselor is what I strive to accomplish, and I would do whatever it takes to get there. I have never felt like I had my own true passion, but I have found the flame in my soul, and it is helping others. Nothing compares to that feeling that resonates through me while having meaningful conversations with people close to me, as well as complete strangers. This is my truth. Mental health is a very important topic to me, and I believe that as a whole, therapy is vastly overpriced, making it unavailable to many who so desperately need assistance. This is why the concept of being a high school counselor inserts joy behind my smile. School counseling is open to all, and thus affirms the belief of being fair to all concerned. Through school counseling, I will be allowed to provide for my family without emptying the pockets of those I am helping. My mom has always told me I have never met a stranger. I love speaking with others no matter who they are, classmates, teachers, workers, even someone in line next to me. I'm intrigued to hear their own individual stories. This is where my future again intersects with Rotarian principles. Counseling will allow me to extend goodwill as well as building friendships. Although I understand there must be a level of professionalism between students and their counselor, it is essential there be a meaningful and authentic connection for counseling to work properly. I believe I have this innate ability. Finally, I will be able to benefit all that are concerned. I'll be the first line of defense to properly assist children towards successful futures. I can show them it is okay to talk to a therapist. No one wants to feel that there's something wrong with them, which prevents many people from seeking the help they desperately need. On another note, I personally enjoy the neurological aspect of why we do things we do, and I often find myself analyzing people in my day-to-day life. What trauma responses do individuals have? What is genetic? How the environment shaped the people in front of me? All these questions intrigue me greatly and are essential aspect of achieving my goal of helping others. It was an honor to be selected as the Rotary Student of the Year, and with this newly bestowed recognition, I plan to exemplify the award by using the four-way test in every aspect of my life. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, speaker number one. And give a few seconds here for any quick notes that our judges need to do. After they present, and we'll also have a few of the members talk about what they're up to and what we're planning with the group for the rest of the school year. All right, speaker number two is ready. And topic is autoimmune disorder, which is a little different than what we first thought, but speaker number two.
Hi. Support is one of the greatest gifts you can offer towards a person who is struggling. Ever since I was a young kid, I was always told I have a way of finding positivity in difficult situations. I'd like to think my optimism sprouts from the endless years of support my family and friends have given me. I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease when I was 7. Through several long and draining years of searching for a diagnosis, I had the best support system anyone could ask for. Sure, having an autoimmune disease isn't easy. Some days it's extremely difficult to do simple tasks others have no problem doing. However, my family has been a huge contributing factor towards my current outlook on life. Alongside support comes awareness. As someone who has struggled with an autoimmune disease for 10 solid years in my life, I have almost completely forgotten what it's like to not worry about my health on a daily basis. As the days went on, it became more and more difficult for me to find a reason why I should remain positive. My poor health led to negative mental health, which led me to be an overall negative person. I had felt nobody truly understood what I was going through, and I had felt nobody could truly give me the support I needed. I felt uncomfortable talking about what I had been through because I didn't want to seem like I was fishing for attention or searching for pity. Speaking out about my autoimmune disease has not been something I've done often due to the fear of others' judgment. However, I choose to speak about my experience living with an autoimmune disease to raise awareness for those who are stuck feeling the same way I had felt a couple months ago. Is it the truth? In the past, I have never had the courage to speak about my illness. A couple of months ago, I was sitting in the waiting room with 3 other patients who were waiting to get called back for the MRI. Never have I ever felt more comfort in my own skin, as I was surrounded by people who have been through the same thing I have. I knew I was in a completely judgment-free zone, which allowed for me to engage in conversation about our previous and current struggles. Recently, I have discovered 3 extremely strong people on social media who have had the courage to share every part of their daily life. Despite the hate they receive, the representation they have shown on social media has given me the courage to speak about my illness freely. Is it fair to all concerned? I believe there are many out there who have felt alone due to their sickness. This year, my health is at an all-time low. I've spent countless days in the hospital and a large amount of time scheduling procedures, receiving infusions, getting lab drawn, beginning my lifelong injections, and wishing I could live a normal life. Recently, with the help of my family and my peers, I realized that I can live a normal life regardless of my medical condition. It's taken 10 years for me to come to this realization, but the matter of fact is there may be some people who will never come to this realization if we do not offer representation. Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Studies suggest that 1 out of 4 children aged 17 and younger suffer from a chronic health condition. Chronic illnesses are very likely to lead to mental health conditions. As someone who has dealt with both mental illness and chronic illness, the best thing you can offer towards someone dealing with any kind of illness is empathy, support, and compassion. Mental illness due to chronic illness is a growing issue amongst teens. Through empathy, compassion, and support, we can build trust and unbreakable bonds to promote goodwill amongst our fellow acquaintances. Will it be beneficial to all concerned? As I said, 1 out of 4 children aged 17 and younger suffer from a chronic health condition. This statistic most likely guarantees someone you associate yourself with every day may be struggling with something they are too afraid to speak out about. I hope to provide an open hand for those who are too afraid to speak out about their struggles, and I hope to educate those who are not aware about the effects chronic illnesses have on individuals. Hopefully, we can form a safe place for those who have not felt safe in a long time. Our priority should be reinforcing mental health alongside physical health. Providing safety for those too afraid to speak out by promoting overall thoughtful actions is the goal I strive for. I am so extremely grateful to be blessed with such an amazing group of people who care for me and offer endless support. If you had asked me last year what I was planning on doing with my life, my answer would not have been the same as it is now. Spreading awareness about chronic illness as well as the mental health behind it will guarantee a more open and empathetic audience for those struggling. There are several people who have changed my life, and I hope to offer as much support and encouragement as I have received. Thank you for your time.
All right, that's wonderful. All right, and our third speaker is number speaker number 4 is coming up to the podium for us. And the topic is division in America.
Hello, I'm here today to talk to you about growing concerns in America today. Whether or not you are on the right side of the spectrum or on the left, you can see that we're very much divided in that aspect. I would like to read you a quote that one of our presidents, and personally one of my favorites, Abraham Lincoln, once said, "United we stand, but divided we fall." This is a truly inspirational quote, but it has some potency to it. As of today, division between Democrats and Republicans have made us, the American people, split down the middle. One of our founding fathers, George Washington, was positively against political parties. He foresaw today's problems, all revolving around the animosity between the two parties. And there is I can't read. There is the fact that barely anyone besides Democrats and Republicans whose voices are being heard. So like there's other groups like forgot the word, independent people who don't have like a political party, and they're not being heard because of all the fighting between the two other parties, you know? So the large population that is neither Democrat or Republican are not being heard. I'm not saying that either one or the other is correct, nor am I saying they're incorrect. I would simply like to say there are faults on both sides along with accomplishments that they've both achieved. But when all is said and done, we cannot change the past. So George Washington's dream of a perfectly united country is far from being realized. I have the hope that one day we, the American people, can be united like we should be. And instead of the, because we're the United States of America, not the divided states. It's just a pun. Anyway, since we do have political parties now, there's no changing that. I would simply like to say it would be beneficial for both sides of the political spectrum to get along and play nice. I understand that a little competitiveness can help a lot. Say like it would force the other one to be better than the other. So basically they're going to be at their best while competing with each other. So competitiveness is good, but as long as they're not like how they are today, calling each other stupid, calling each other names, I don't really think that's, beneficial or anything. That's not good. It would be ideal, I feel, if they would each take an idea or to get along, take an idea that one has. So the other one, sorry, that's hard to explain. So they would take an idea. That's a really good idea, right? But one side might not necessarily like that idea. They would take that idea, tweak it a little bit, make it better. And just instead of being like, I don't like that. It's not how it works. I don't know, I'm rambling here. Anyways, compromise. That's the word I'm looking for. That one word can solve a lot of problems. Depending on what kind of mindset you have, that one word can sound equally bad and good. For example, compromising your ideals is not really a compromise. That would be you not getting any input in the situation. Moreover, I feel a compromise should be both sides getting what they want, maybe giving up some of what they don't need, but not compromising their own ideals or morals. Anyways, you may be thinking, how does this meet the four-way test? Well, everything stated here is truth. Is it fair to all concerned? Is it beneficial to all sides? And does it promote goodwill and friendship? I think that's what it was. I feel like most of what I said was the truth. In fact, all of it's the truth. It depends on your point of view. You could be a Democrat or a Republican. You never, but it would be better. It would make better will and friendships if this speech was meant to do anything. I feel like we would. Sorry, I don't even know where I'm on a piece of paper. Hopefully, again, if the speech was meant for taking action, it would be to benefit the unheard voices being drowned out by the other two opposing sides. Before I go over three minutes, or how many minutes, I would like to finish off with a closing thought and two famous quotes from two very famous people, and a short analysis how they relate to the subject at hand. Number one, it isn't the mountain ahead to climb that wears you out. It's the pebble in your shoe by Muhammad Ali. This particular quote is funny and added links to the subject at hand. For you see, both political parties let the small self of the other one get to them. Instead of focusing on the bigger picture, they join their respective branches to do good for the American people, not promote their own agenda. So instead of focusing on duking it out with the other side, focus on the well-being of the American people. For my second quote, you never really understand a person until you consider the things from their point of view. Harper Lee. This quote, I feel, sums up the point of what I'm trying to get across. We should be trying to understand each other's ideas and opinions instead of trying to change them to fit around. Thank you for your time.
Wow. Well, I know I couldn't have presented any way close to any three of those when I was in high school. So I think they did an amazing job. At this point, Steve, are we going to have the breakout session for the judges?
Sure. So we have 4 judges, and 2 of the judges, Ruth Kramer and Sally Snyder, are members of our club. I'm going to ask Tom, would you like to speak up a little bit and introduce yourself as a judge? And then Ernestine follow Tom, please.
Hello, Steve, I'm sorry, I was busily clicking my mute and my.
Gotcha, no problem. I was just
video.
gonna say, if you could introduce and tell people a little bit about yourself, and then Ernestine follow you. As a
My name is
judge.
Tom Barry. I am the pastor at Bethany Presbyterian Church. And I have had the privilege of knowing Steve through that and other areas since I've been here. Was very, let's see, it's been a couple of years now through my work with Courageous Conversations that I've again had the privilege to work with Sally. So when I was contacted by both of them to consider doing this, it was nice to be asked, and it's really cool. I'm glad I can be here to be a part of this.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Tom. And Ernestine, please.
Hi, my name is Ernestine Flemister, and I'm the priest at St. Luke's Episcopal Church. I have been here in Grants Pass since August of 2018, and I am excited to be here to listen to the young people and hear their points of views on the issues that really affect us in our world today. So I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you for all 4 judges. Sally, would you like to do a breakout room for the 4 judges?
I apologize. I'm not able to set up a breakout room. I'm on my phone right now. I don't think I can. Does anybody else, does Gina Marie here, does she have host capabilities?
I don't know if she's here.
I apologize. I had to go to a doctor appointment. I didn't make it back to the office in time. If anybody is good with Zoom, has done a breakout room, if you could volunteer and Steve could make you a co-host, that would be great.
Someone want to set up breakout rooms?
I don't know.
We have a technologically inept club.
Yeah.
Do you want me to walk you through it? Or
Go ahead.
Dylan? No? Okay, Steve, do you see breakout at the bottom of the screen?
I'm there.
Okay, so assign manually.
Got it.
And then
Room
1, and then choose
Gotcha.
the Tom Barry, Ernestine Flemister, Lutz Kramer, Sally Snyder, and our
Yep.
timekeeper. Is that Tommy?
Tommy Drake. Okay, now I gotta find the list.
And before you put us into breakout rooms, there's a thing that lets you say how much time. It gives you an option, like click on the thing that says options
Yes.
and just give us some time. We'll come back when we're ready.
Okay, so click on options.
Sometimes you have to fill a void here of like 5 minutes or more.
5 minutes.
Yeah. Vamp, man.
Why did the chicken cross the road?
You're not muted, by the way.
So Sally, how much time do you want to give?
We'll give us 10 minutes or 15 minutes because we can come back whenever we want. Give us 15.
Gotcha, okay.
Okay.
You pick the time, okay.
I wonder, is Steve Swearingen still with us? Because maybe we could link to the presentation from his and Debbie Brownell's former Rotary Youth Exchange
Open all
student.
rooms.
Thank you.
I do it.
Not yet.
Okay. Oh, this is shows the progress.
It might be that you just missed one or two participants. So if you go down to the break,
I've got Ernestine, and I didn't get hands.
I don't see Sally on any longer, so she must be in the group. So
Yeah.
maybe I'm the only one that's not.
I think you're the, yeah, perfect. See if you can. My fault. Because I see 4 people in the, let's see.
Okay, I can join now.
Okay, thanks. Okay.
I got kicked out of my breakout room. Can you send me back?
Yeah, I'm going to, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Anybody else feel like we're on Star Trek?
Make it so.
Eventually, we'll all just kind of dematerialize and go where we need to be, but it's a little early yet.
I was thinking more the Flintstones.
Can I make an announcement at this time? Diane Hoover, who is the incoming president for the Grants Pass Rotary Club, is heading up efforts to help supplement student meal programs and has scheduled a meeting on Thursday, unfortunately, at noon on the 24th in room H2 at RCC. And so anyone, I know that there was a lot of interest in our club when the woman who's the owner of the grocery outlet gave her program on weekend baskets. And so Diane Hoover is following up on that. And so all are welcome who are interested in helping with that program and trying to get that off the ground. The 24th at noon in room H2.
Great. So I know, Darylyn, didn't you want to share during this time some information about the students and our Interact Club in North Valley?
Yeah, thank you. I was just kind of waiting to make sure we had the breakout room all done and ready to go. So our Interact group this year is amazing. We have about 10 seniors, 2 or 3 juniors, 6 to 7 sophomores, and a couple freshmen. The freshmen are just coming in because they didn't have the same leadership class in the beginning, just because of how their school systems designed for classes coming in. And I have Matt Sharpen, who is this year's president, and Lainey, who are going to talk about what we've kind of got set up and what we're going to be doing coming up in the next little bit before school's out.
Hey everybody, my name is Matt. You guys might have seen me around here a little bit before. I've been here a couple times, but yeah, so currently our biggest project is fundraising for Thirst Project, which we've done in the past quite a bit. We've done quite a bit of fundraising for them. And this project that we have is actually a sponsored river cleanup. So right now we're working with the county, correct, the county, to see which parks they would like us to clean. And we're getting a sponsorship from different businesses around town. Currently we have around $200, and that's just with 1 or 2 businesses donating. We're currently working on getting more and more in the next couple weeks, as the date that we have settled on is March 28th, which is a Monday, I believe. And it's the day right before we come back from spring break. So we're going to try and get our entire group out to clean up part of the river to help our local community and hopefully raise some money to help Thirst Project internationally. We have a flyer that we can get sent around to anyone who would know of a business, or you have a business that you would like to donate. We can get this sent around to anyone who would like one. You can get in contact with individuals too, not just businesses. You can get in contact with Dylan. That felt weird to say. Typically I say mom, but yeah. So if you have any questions, just reach out to us. We're really excited about this, as we're trying to kick off Thirst Project again after being off because of COVID.
And so what their idea was for this project, and it was driven by the group, is it's kind of like everybody's used to doing the a jogathons, where it's a flat dollar amount or you give so much per lap. Well, that was their concept for doing donations, is it's going to be a flat dollar amount, or you could do so much per bag of trash that they pick up. And they're going to be out. We've already gotten an okay with which is the park in town, sports park, All Sports Park, with the All Sports Park. And we're going to start picking up trash there. And then we're going to move out. And right now the county is working with us on which parks after the spring break will need more help than others, from either Indian Mary all the way down to Alameda, Enos Riffle, and a few of those. And then once we do the local pickup to help our local waterways, we'll take the money and send it off to Thirst. Right now, we have funded 2 wells for everybody who's not up to speed on our international project, and we're working on a 3rd one for the Thirst Project. The young adults are really excited about getting this done, so it'll be a good time. Oh, and Matt wants to talk again here.
So we have another local project that we're currently working on, which is we're going to build bus shelters and put them up for county schools in places that see a lot of traffic. But we've kind of reached a roadblock with that. We've found places to get materials, and we've figured out a good design and stuff. But the thing that's really holding us back right now is liability and property rights and stuff like that on where we can put them without, and like insurance. So once we get that ironed out, we should be able to go full steam ahead on that project as well, and get some bus stops put in for kids who are waiting for the bus, which we thought was a really important thing, especially being out in the country. There's not as many sidewalks. It's kind of narrow shoulder, especially on Monument, which is the road that goes by all of our schools. So we thought if we could put up a couple of bus stops in places that see quite a few kids, then that would be very beneficial to the community.
So that's kind of in a nutshell what the group has been working on. I know it's not, sorry, I'm stuttering now, sorry, but they're doing a good job and just trying to get past those hurdles for the local projects. So allow us to keep rolling forward, so.
Okay. Well, the way the competition works for the 4-way speech contest is today's is for local students for North Valley High School. And then on March 31st, at our club meeting, we're going to take the top vote getter from each of the 4 local Rotary clubs. That would be the Illinois Valley Club, the Friday Greater Grants Pass Club, our club, and then Grants Pass Rotary. And those will advance. We'll have a 4-way speech contest in which we'll have these judges. And then that one will advance to the district level competition, which will be at the end of April, for which we'll have the 4 April competition. And they will present to the entire District 5110 among the different areas of Rotary. So that's kind of our order of events right there. Now we're still waiting for them to deliberate. We tried to get the breakout rooms to work the best we could, and I don't think we're able to get Ernestine. I just learn something new every.
So I just popped into the break room. They said that they received your scores, Ernestine, and they're going to rejoin us in a second.
Okay, great. I will say that my one word up here, it says adaptability. And that word always applies. Appreciate your help, Sarah, to make that adaptability come through.
Well, Steve, can I give just a quickie update on shoes?
Absolutely.
All right, since we were just sitting there. The good part is I think we'd all heard last week, but there's a number of you that weren't on last week. We were able to raise $2,250 for Shoes That Fit to provide 75 pair of new shoes, new name brand shoes to the students out at Evergreen Elementary School. I've been working with Anna from Shoes That Fit and also speaking with Jenny, the principal out at Evergreen, and they've been in connection with one another, and it sounds like they're going to start doing the measuring for the shoes next, I think it was Tuesday and Wednesday before they head off for spring break. And so the shoes should then be able to be ordered, and hopefully keep our fingers crossed. It may take about a month or so for the shoes to get delivered just because of logistics, how that's happening at this point. But anyway, we're going to be able to help be providing 75 kids with brand new shoes, and hopefully it'll be just around the first part of May. But of course, we'll keep you in touch as we get closer for different little projects, either to go out and mark the boxes of the shoes with the kids' names and their sizes and that type of thing, or maybe helping to fit the shoes, whatever. But anyway, it's on the way, and now it's just kind of in the hands of the school and Shoes That Fit. So thank you all for your support on that.
Thank you. It's amazing how many students don't have shoes, and that small gift of shoes can really change a life for those students. Any other announcements from the community while we're waiting?
I can do some jokes, Steve, if you
You
want.
go ahead.
Okay, because I was sergeant at arms, maybe that will be kind
Okay.
of a fun thing to do. And I thought, since we had students doing contests, what better way than to do some jokes about students and the spelling bee? So the first one, and I'm a terrible joke teller, but it'll still be funny. What's the difference between Harry Potter and a spelling bee contestant? I don't think anybody's going to figure this out, but between Harry Potter and a spelling bee contestant, one conjures spells and the other spells conjure. All right, not bad, not bad. Okay, why did the spelling bee champion go to the doctor? Any idea? Why did the spelling bee champion go to the doctor? Because the what?
Something about his vowels.
Very good. He had irregular vowel movement. All right, the last one. What did the steak tell his son after he won the spelling bee competition? What did the steak tell his son after he won? Okay, give up. Well done.
Hey, Sam has a joke for you guys.
Okay, good.
What do you call a deer with no eyes?
A deer with no eyes?
Yeah. A no idea.
Good one.
Had to get him involved, so gotta keep him awake.
Yeah.
So
we are,
Grants Pass High School theater department has a live performance scheduled this weekend, Friday and Saturday at 7 and Sunday at 2 for a spoof on Harry Potter called Puffs. So I hear it's good. I'm hopeful to get there.
Just in case anyone wants to know, it's amazing. So you should absolutely go see the production of Puffs. It is fantastic. The kids have worked really hard, long hours for several weeks to make this happen, and they do an amazing job.
Steve, I understand they're not making yardsticks any longer.
Oh, really?
hmm
We have 4 yardsticks, 4-foot yardsticks here. I don't know what that means. My dad had those made up years ago, 4-foot yardsticks, something different for advertising.
So Steve, we are back if you want the results.
You bet. Go ahead. Okay.
Okay, some very interesting speeches. We'd like to make sure that the participants know that if they would like any additional personal feedback, that they're more than welcome to get in touch with us. The ranking that we have for them is number 1 is speaker number 1. Number 2, speaker number 2, and number 3, speaker number 4. So we have no names. We saw them briefly, but as far as knowing exact names and so on, that's kind of up to Daleen to fill that in for us. Thank you for that effort. There were some interesting speeches.
Okay, thank you. So Daleen, take it away from there.
All right, so sounds like the winner is Sam, who is speaker number 1. Speaker number 2 was Lainey, and then speaker number 3 was JD. So JP, sorry, I apologize, JP. And so what will happen next is Sam will represent North Valley at the next speech, which is on May 31st, and he will speak against the winners from Grants Pass High School, Illinois Valley, and Hidden Valley, for who will go on next to representing our area at the district. Congratulations, guys. Good job. Thank you.
Okay. Congratulations to all of you. Okay, and thank you to you and Tiffany for all your help, Daleen, to make this happen. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I apologize. It's March 31st is the local areas. I accidentally said May, but it's March. I apologize.
That's okay. No problem. Okay.
Laurel has a question.
Yes.
Laurel.
Sure.
Dylan, could you send me names, addresses, so I can send some money to our 3 contestants?
Absolutely. I'll get those
Okay.
to you by email.
I was going to mention that too, Laurel. Since you have the information, do you want to tell the rest of the club the scholarship awards that the competitors are receiving?
Sure, I just told Dawn what they were. I'm not sure. I know that Sam has $250 coming his way. Dawn, do you remember the next?
Yes, and Lainey has 150 and JP 100.
Not a bad morning's work, huh?
Yeah.
Laurel, I
Okay.
also have the addresses, I believe, so I'll get them to you.
And I might mention, especially for newer members, the next competition, the scholarship awards are raised to another level. And then if they make the district competition, they get another shot at a larger scholarships.
Okay, so Dawn, would you like to do Sergeant at Arms? Continue onward, please.
Sorry, I don't have any more spelling.
That's okay. You did
details.
great.
All right, so let's just move on to Happy Bucks. And you know what? I'll start it out. I'm going to give $30, $10 for each of our amazing young speakers. That's fantastic. All right, I see Greg.
I'm not sure exactly how much to give. I was thinking of giving $162. Some people might be able to guess why I would do that. The link that Margaret put in the chat for the update about what the United Nations and the United States are doing for refugees happened to have another little item on the bottom that said baseball lockout news. So I clicked it, and it turns out the labor dispute is settled, and the players are coming back to start, I believe, April 7th. And the season will still try to squeeze in all 162 games. Go Dodgers.
Go Dodgers.
Go Braves, right, Park?
Go Braves, that's right.
I could see him in the screen. He's trying to drive, but he's still gonna,
I'm
work on
sitting in
his
a
phone
parking
to
lot.
say Go Braves. Oh, he's in the parking lot. Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody else with Happy Bucks? Just
I'll
raise
get-
your electronic hand or speak.
Sorry, Don, I'll give $30 for the, in honor of my 3 presenters today too.
Great. And by
I
the
have a
way, it was
question.
really wonderful to see Matt again. That was very cool.
Yeah, he's, they're all doing great. So it's amazing to see what they're getting accomplished and how they're excelling.
Yeah.
This is Valerie. I was wondering how can we give their March walk for the thirst program? Is there a way, can we do that here? Or I wasn't sure of how exactly we could give, whether we could do it right now with our Happy Bucks and just have it directed towards them. Because I would be happy to.
I think, Valerie, what you would do is actually send it to RG Rotary Foundation and put thirst in the line. I think that's how we did it. Isn't that true in the past, Lynn?
Yes, and I also have a direct email for their, they actually have a, on the Thirst website, their group has a number that you can go in and pledge directly. So I can provide that to you guys if you want to go in and click on it, and it allows you to do donations and stuff directly to their site. So.
Okay, yeah, that'd be great if you can get that out. I think that's important. And meanwhile, I'm going to go lower, but I'm going to go $15 and say $15 for the 5 for each of the people speaking today, because they did a wonderful job. I remember what it's like to be in high school at that age and speak in front of so many adults, and wonderful. I loved the topics that they all chose. I think they're all very important. And yeah, so $15 for that for Happy Bucks.
I see Tommy the timer.
That's a hard job,
Mhm.
Very hard. Because I got interested in what they were saying, but I was still supposed to be punching numbers on the phone. Anyway, I wanted to give the $30, 10 for each of the kiddos. I think they did a great job. I know I'm not supposed to say kiddos, I'm supposed to say students or something, but it's done with a love. So anyway, and I also want to thank our judges who came from outside, and Ludi and Sal. So I think it went real well. Their topics were amazing. So thank you.
Okay, Steve Rowe.
I'll kick in $50, $50 for our contestants or the 3 speeches, as well as for Ernestine and for Tom, and also a pledge to learn breakout rooms. That's trial by fire and made it work, but it was lumpy. But thanks you for everybody's understanding and appreciate that. Appreciate the participation.
And you didn't even look panicky. That was the amazing thing. I would have
like-
melted.
Oh,
Anything
adaptability
else?
is like my one word, adaptability, I guess it just comes back to that, but adaptability is like, oh, I'm tired of adapting.
Anything else? All right, Steve, it's back to you.
Okay, thank you. What I've got is for a final thought, and it's regarding what we talked about today. And it was my thought for the week is one I read across the internet, but it's to reach out and offer some words of support directly to the various Rotary clubs in the war-torn regions. There are 50 plus clubs in the Ukraine and over 125 in Russia. And in the spirit of Rotary, each of these Rotary clubs is working to transcend the national differences and find peace building and aid activities to help all victims. If you are a hashtag user, use hashtag Stand With Rotary is one of the many you might want to use when you're on Twitter or Facebook or other social media. You know, it's just we're all trying to think of a way that we can help others in the world. And, you know, you think about the Rotary clubs in Russia that may not know what's going on in their own country or the countries surrounding, you know, about what you watch that video, you know, about the Rotary Club of Poland and how they're afraid that it's going to spill over into their country and the unsettling part that we have. And, you know, of course, being on the other side of the world, literally, in this, but we're still directly affected of it by everything. And I thought that was just a small thing that each of us can do, as well as the financial parts, because I think that many of us, if not all of us, are trying to make that difference for others. So thanks. Well, with that, I'll adjourn our Rotary Club for this week, and we'll continue it onward for those that want to continue on and have fellowship and go on from there. So thank you and have a great week. Bye for now. So Greg, are you happy now?
I'm relieved. I'm looking forward to it. And Delynn, before you leave, I wanted to compliment you. I think that's the first time I can remember when every single contestant made the connection between the four-way test and their topic. We've had, you know, some kids make some great speeches before that they kind of went off track and didn't connect to the four-way test. But this year, everyone made a good effort to do that, and they made a bridge that we could follow. Nice job.
Thank you. Yeah, they're great presenters and they put a lot of work in, so it paid off for them. Is great.
I might mention while you're working with any of the younger students, the Grants Pass Rotary Club has a special scholarship that they can compete for, and it requires an essay about the four-way test. So these students have already got a leg up for the scholarship competition when they've got their draft of their speech and whatnot. I don't know what the word limits are for the scholarship and things, but I do know that competition is commencing right now. So a lot of the seniors are involved. I can't remember what the deadline is or was, but yeah.
Okay.
It's I think you can go through the Josephine County Education Fund to
Oh,
get more
okay.
info.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Is
And
there-
oh, sorry,
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Tiffany.
I'm sending around on the chat, the website for their Thirst project with their team number. So, and I'll also give it to Steve for updating if anybody wanted it, because I know that was asked. So sorry about interrupting.
No worries. Can somebody tell me on this Zoom thing how to put the hand up? I don't see anywhere that I do that
At the
with.
very bottom, you see one that's called reactions.
Okay.
Click on that and you select raise hand.
Oh, okay. I tried to ask Jim and Jim says, I don't know how to do that. He
You're
does
already
it.
ahead of him.
No, he does it, but he just doesn't, he couldn't walk me through it. So
Oh, okay.
thank you.
Yes. So next week, Gina Marie's going to be our program, or going to be our Prep Club incoming, going to delete the program next week because I'm doing a poverty simulation in Medford.
Oh,
Well,
Yeah,
live and in person.
live and in person. Yeah,
Yeah.
Road Retreat. Yeah,
Great. Is that the first one back since COVID?
it is in about 2.5 years. So yeah, I've got to dust off the kit this week, and it's all put together. It's ready to go. You know, the age-old problem of getting participants is still, I think we're right now at about 45. So we got enough to have it. It's going to grow from there this week. But all the different Road Retreat as well as Southern Oregon Goodwill are the two sponsors of it.
great.
And next week we have the Vocational Service Awards. So we're gonna have,
We
that's
do.
2 weeks in a row of doing some good celebrations.
And tap dancing. We're going to be tap dancing and being adaptable through it all.
Yeah.
Well,
Steve,
Don, you've really raised the bar for Sergeant at Arms. Jokes this week, tap dancing next week.
Yeah, yeah.
And I want to apologize. This is Sally. The doctor appointment went really long. It started at 11:30 and he was in the room with Hayden for a long time. So I apologize for being late. I'm glad we had 3 other judges because they all were able to do the judging. I came in midway through the second speaker. So pretty much the beginning actually of her speech, but oops, I'm getting another call. I'm sorry. I'm driving. I'm hands-free on Bluetooth. So
Okay, all right. Be
Thanks,
careful.
Sally.
It worked, Sally. Thank you.
I'm
Yep.
heading back. So thank you. And if, well, Lutz is still here, I think, but thanks so much to Tom and Ernestine. I'll get in touch with them later.
Great.
All right. Talk to y'all later.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Don, were you going to say something?
Oh, I was just thinking, you know, as, well, Kelly and Tommy getting the gifts, the small gifts for the 8 award winners next week for, do we think it's okay for Gina Marie to organize how those get to them prior to the meeting? I mean, she's convening the meeting.
Right.
Should I
I would
ask
think
her?
so. Yeah,
It
that'd
would
be
seem
great.
that she would know how to do that better
Right.
than any of us.
Logistically, she'd be the most logical person to do that too.
Okay, great.
What are we getting them?
Well, well, you know, they get the $500, which will actually go towards another barbecue for all of the employees. And Asante will take care of the remaining money that needs to be used for that. But each of them are getting, you know, it's St. Patrick's Day, so they're getting, Tommy found some, Kelly found some really cool green mugs. And going on our Russell Hampton Rotary site, there are pins that talk about service with a quote from Gandhi.
Okay.
So it will be just, you know, a thank you for your service, and we're trying to make it to be a little bit St. Patrick's Daisy. It's just, you know, the first time we've ever had 8 winners,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I think that's wonderful and timely.
Mhm.
So,
They're all deserving.
oh my gosh, yes, as is the entire staff. So,
Right. That'll be fun to do another barbecue too.
yes,
Yeah, because our club is going to kind of do the logistics of that as well as the cooking and that type of thing. That'll be upcoming. the
that's
next
right.
few
And,
months.
and if we apply for that volunteer position, you know, we're experienced. We can put that on our
Right.
volunteer resume. We did it
Right.
once before.
I think it'll go easier the second time. Not that it went badly the first time. It was really, it's a lot of fun the way that all came together.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was work and fun.
yeah,
Just, you know, the staff genuinely appreciated it. That, you know, you felt that.
Yeah.
And that's what you wanted them to feel appreciated. All right, everyone. Steve, what have you got now? What's up next on your crowded schedule?
Well, actually, I'm sending out invitations for the poverty simulation coming up for that thing. It's going to be get that going underway. What they did is Southern Oregon Goodwill had a kit for a number of years, and they've had a turnover in personnel. And so they paid for 2 people from the Rogue Retreat to go back to the poverty simulation, which they went to in St. Louis and came back, but they've never done one before. So I said, you know what, I'll do the first one with you and kind of show you how I do it, and you can kind of adapt what you learned and then take it from there. So they're doing that next week. And so I'll be facilitating it, and they'll kind of be watching and learning, that type of thing. They've got one coming up in like next month, I think, but it's over in Sisters. They're asking if I go to Sisters, and it's the night before is the all Rotary dinner that's going to be at Wildlife Images. I just don't also know if I want to drive all the way up there to Sisters. I mean, just say, you know what, you be comfortable doing it. And because you went for the training, and I've shown you how to do it, and hopefully you're comfortable enough to do it. You know, the biggest struggle in the poverty simulation is always the participants. You know, getting logistically the people to say yes and commit. You know, every group I've worked with, that's the biggest lesson, is not starting with a big enough list, because it just takes to go through so many people. And it's not, I think it's true overall too, but it's other Oregon, just I've noticed you just can't get people to commit until the last minute. So it's just because they want to see if there's something else on their schedule that comes up them. And so getting people to commit is always a struggle. And so the last week is always just sending out reminder emails, and that's when you really it can be the last 3 days, you'll pick up a whole double your list, I guess, of participants.
It's unfortunate that people would wait to the last minute or not consider it a priority, when I'm imagining, in your experience, anyone who's been through that is amazed and changed.
Yeah, and also I think there's a certain hesitancy for people to sign up because they don't know what they're signing up for.
Yeah.
If there's this mystery event called poverty simulation, what is it? Am I going to be embarrassed? And what's going to, how does this actually work? And until you actually go through it, you really don't know what it's all about. So I think there is that natural hesitancy of all of us to commit to something, the fear of the unknown.
And it's a bit of a block of time. It's at least, I think it's. at
Oh, it
least
definitely is. Yeah.
So, and a lot of times they're on a weekend, and people don't want to like carve out half a day from their weekend. And so Thursday will be a midday.
Yeah,
So-
we're going to do it from 9 o'clock till 1:30. It's going to conclude with lunch. So, it starts with 9 o'clock with registration. The event will start, the simulation will start at 10. At 11:30, we'll have a breakout session, and then go to 12:30, and then have boxed lunches from 12:30 to 1:30. And then
Rogue
clean up
Retreat
at
should have
1:30.
quite a network of volunteers as well as staff that if they can release them.
I would have thought the same thing, and so far it's come, yes, and I was surprised there's not more. With the different boards and that type of thing. But I should say, getting people to say yes on a Thursday. At first, they're going to do it on a Saturday, and I said, I don't think Saturday is going to be your best day to get people there, especially with the nicer weekends and that kind of stuff. And there's no perfect day for any of that. Just even like this one, I hated to miss Rotary, but it's like, okay, Thursday, we'll just do it. And yeah.
It's good. Don't worry. We'll try and do the best as we possibly can.
Oh, I know. And what I really wanted to miss is obviously, the vocational service board, and Sante, and that's really kind of in my wheelhouse, my backyard anyway, as far as the things that I'm passionate about. So I really hesitate to miss them. And then at 1:30, I've got a Business Oregon that's a Zoom meeting. So I think I'm going to hop on there to go till 3. So I think I'll just take my iPad with me because it's another Zoom meeting. So yeah, it's good. Any thoughts on our meeting for April 7th for our board meeting?
For our
discussion, as far as masking, I guess, are we not a board meeting, our regular meeting, are any thoughts here about meeting in person?
Well, I mean, listening to what Wynn had to say today, it seems like, we should feel safe to do so. And if at the board meeting again, this time maybe a couple of us meeting there with you at All Care, that will give us a better idea of what it would be like. But I suppose there should be some preparation. Well, I mean, of course, there always should be preparation.
But
some of it you won't know until we do it too.
Right.
I attended the Grants Pass Rotary meeting yesterday, and I thought, matter of fact, I emailed Ann, and she did a superb job on the meeting, and the hybrid I thought worked really, really well.
Oh, good, good.
Yes.
So as time has gone on, that has improved.
Yeah, I was the,
And
a full
Debbie's
meeting.
nodding her head, so that's good.
Part of that must be being at the pub, right? The high ceiling and the larger expanse and all of the difficulties that might cause.
Debbie?
Well, the speakers really need to eat that microphone. You know, if they are facing away from the microphone and talking softly, it doesn't work.
Okay.
But you know, I listened to Kasha and, you know, she did it was a great presentation and it came across well. And so I was very glad, since that was the reason I tuned in, was to see her.
That must make you feel so good when, you know, you see a former exchange student whom you hosted succeeding in life and then ultimately becoming a new Rotarian. That's
Right.
wonderful.
And just
3 weeks into it, that's amazing.
What's that?
3 weeks into it, and she's doing an international project, you know, with a turnaround time that's just incredible. I mean, gee whiz. I was lucky to remember my badge when it's after.
You know, the thing I saw for Grants Pass Rotary, and I emailed Steve, or I talked to Steve about this, Steve Swearingen, as well as Ann, is that I detected there was this resounding burst of energy for the Grants Pass Rotary Club yesterday. And I think you all, you know, just whatever it is, you need a project to be involved in and need something to get behind. And I was really happy for them to have this project, and because I think they have struggled like we all have, I guess, in this pandemic. But they really came behind this whole project and have, you know, financially supported, emotionally supported it, and it's great for their Rotary Club.
Absolutely.
They also really came through when a plea was made for helping people who were burned out in Talent Phoenix area. They raised a lot of money for that too. But other than that, there haven't been a lot of opportunities for service in their club. And I think it really makes a difference in, as Steve mentioned earlier to me, about purpose. If you don't have a project and a purpose for being, it makes it a lot harder to come together in that fellowship. And I think that has been our success is all of the projects and passions being so supported by other members.
Right, there's always something to do, and I think, didn't you make an announcement today, Debbie, about the food project that Diane
Yes.
Hoover is picking up? I wonder if that was partly in response to getting the Ukraine-Poland, you know, connection thing going and having enough energy that people wanted to join in locally too.
I think that's, well, go on, Debbie. I think that preceded.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there had been discussion about what Jesse Powell had talked about, and it might have been in a president's meeting, it seems to me, where we were touching on that. And then I think Diane just took it ahead and said, you know, this could be something that they would really, you know, it is so true. If you think though that, I mean, what's the purpose of Rotary? It's service. And if you feel kind of lost in all of that, that you don't really have a focus or a purpose, or you're feeling like you don't make the difference you'd like to think you're making, it would be hard to be energized. So it's very cool.
Mm-hmm.
And if that comes together, that'll be amazing. The student weekend deals, you know, there's certainly ways we can connect with, I mean, not just our 4 Rotary clubs, but Kiwanis and some others.
I think there's talk of this would be like our duck race from a service standpoint, not as a fundraising standpoint, but as a community service project.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Diane's got the connections from the Blue Zones and as well as the interest from before.
Right.
She was the project head for the Blue Zones.
Yep.
Well, I've got to go study my fantasy baseball roster.
Speaking of having purpose in life, right? Now you've got a purpose in life.
And
Right.
Greg, I'm counting on you to get the trophy next
Oh,
year.
have you seen
Take
it?
it. Oh, yes. Oh,
Fritz,
of course.
Fritz, Debbie Amin's husband won it last year for one of these leagues that we're in. And I always tell the story that it reminds me of the Christmas Story major award where the leg lamp, the father gets this leg lamp and he wants it in the front window. Well, this trophy is like as tall as that leg lamp. It's about 4 feet tall. And Margaret wasn't too happy when we had it in our front bay window for a couple of times. So
Unfortunately, Greg, it sits on right next to the fireplace. It's like front and central in their house.
as long as they don't light the fire.
That's right. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
that could be dangerous.
Oh, that would very good.
You don't want to melt my name off the plaque. Okay, I'll say goodbye. Great job, you guys.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Oh,
Okay.
one quick remark for Debbie in case I don't get my letter to the board. You have the second place vote getter as one of your 14 candidates. That would be it seems to me to be an overriding method of making your choice.
Well, I am not sure how all this is all going to unfold. The first step is we've got 14 applications without names associated to them. And we're supposed to rank their responses to 13 questions and 1 to 5. And but
See
but
what
she's
happens to
my
that.
top 5.
It should be like the veterans bonus that when I used to work for state government, there was almost all of the jobs required an exam. You'd get a score and you had to have, usually it's like a 90 out of 100 to get an interview.
Yeah.
And then you could choose from among anyone who got the interview. But there was a 10-point veterans bonus. So
Oh.
any veteran automatically got 10 points on the exam part of the portion. So sometimes they would come in with a score of like 105 or something,
Okay.
but
Well,
it just gets them a better chance for the
We've got
finals.
some really high quality candidates for being on the board. And, I foresee in the next couple years, a couple more openings. So anyway,
Yeah.
And then, we're still a split board, so it gets tricky
Mhm.
about, because you really can figure out who's who if you try.
Well, I admire you sticking with it. I had a couple of conversations with Cliff recently, and I'm really glad that you guys are, hanging in there.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds like
I'll
you've
say
got
that.
work to do. Bye-bye.
Bye now.
Right.